I was stationed in Germany at the time that the wall came down in Berlin in the early 90s. And of course, at the time, I did not understand the significance of it. I didn't even know the reason why that this wall was coming down, because I wasn't as educated about history as I am today. The one thing I do know is that the system that we have entrenched today here in America, and you have to understand, America is something else, because we have never kept our word. We have never kept a treaty. We have literally no honor whatsoever at all. And the way we function in this world today is by death, hell, and destruction, murder, deceit, treachery, and we all call that skill, politics, and strategy. No wonder the world is going to all pretty soon join together against us in a world war, because we have just lied about everything that we have ever done. But anyway, back over into this wall. And, when that wall came down, and it's true, it pretty much made us the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, as far as the world powers go. We're the world's sole lone superpower. But there's an undercurrent, there's an undertone that has been happening over the last few decades here. The world has done woke up. They've gotten intelligence and gotten hip to the game of the United States of America. I don't think there's one American, not one. And I think the trouble is that we don't know what to do about it. But I don't think there's one American outside of the system that believes that we are in Iraq, we're thinking about attacking Iran, and we're in Afghanistan because of terrorists. I don't. Do you? I don't. I know the reason why we're there is because of the dollar, because of the oil, it's because of resources. It's like China is jacking Africa for all of its resources. China has no other interest over there but resources. That's it. And I'm not even going to get into the history about King Leopold, because if I start all this, most of you don't know. That's the reason why that when we see things going on today, that nobody has any understanding how we're repeating the same mistakes of the past. But those of us that are informed, we do, and we start to make moves because we can see the forest for the trees. We can tell what's getting ready to take place, because humanity is not too complex. We do the same things over and over and over again. I don't care how modern or how mechanized we become, or industrialized and we become as a nation. The military-industrial complex called the United States of America has definitely flexed its power, muscle, and might over there in that region. You see, that region of the area of the world right there is rich in resources. It's the cradle of civilization. It's rich in resources. And that's the reason why you see so many nations on the outskirts of that nation, or those nations over there, are doing everything they can to flex their military might and muscle and stuff. And we have literally made the Arab countries rich over there by giving them a thing called the petrodollar. And that's the reason why that we're seeing metals and as well as the stock market and all the other commodities and stuff actually not growing at the rate that it should, is because the powers that be is gonna, it's in their best interest to keep this fiat phony currency system afloat as long as they can. And as long as America has one bomb, we're going to continue to keep using it. That's one thing about America. We have lived by the sword. And it's only a matter of time that we're going to be destroyed as a nation by the sword, because you cannot go out all throughout this world sowing deceit, treachery, lies, death, hell, and destruction, and then not expect the chickens to come home to roost. We only have a little bit of time left, and the world is hip to our hypocrisy and game. My job is to wake you people up and let you get hip to all the game that is going on, especially on the religious front and especially on the economic front, because it has bearing against us all here in this life. I got a very interesting video that Sister Bonnie had posted on the forum, and I think you need to look at it. I'm going to include it in the link below down here, but it's a good educational resource and tool for those of us who don't spend time reading nor educating ourselves. Now, it's going to be hard for you to refute the facts of this video if you have not done your due diligence to understand history in itself. But it's my hope. It is really, truly my hope that we can get out of this watching pictures and looking at pictures and think we're going to be educated and stuff. You know, there's a dynamic to reading. I mean, because computers will even handicap you in itself. But there's a certain dynamic that happens in the soul of man when you sit down with a book and you put your eyes in front of it and you read it for yourself. There's a total different communication that goes down into the soul. And not only that, you know what else it does? It causes you to be able to retain better the stuff that you are reading, as opposed to watching pictures and movies and shows and think you're going to retain it, because you don't know what kind of spin that these people are putting on the historical facts when you watching pictures and movies. Because, hey, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, then that means they can stick 999 words of deception in there to deceive you.